Good morning. I'm Mrs. Kapoor speaking, Kamlesh Kapoor, instructor on behalf of American Hindu Academy. And this is continuation of lesson 9, and we are on lesson 10 now. And we have been talking about how the Hindus describe or view the divine. And there are not one way, there are various ways. And each one may be correct, but not complete. So this is what we are going to learn in this lesson. So this lesson will elaborate reality of Brahma, the divine being. It is not seen, but not unreal. So in other words, even though we cannot see the actual form, if there is one, but no doubt the reality of the divine energy is there around us, within us, which keeps the whole thing in a dynamic world of time and space in action. So Brahma is the ultimate reality, the small little divine spark that is within us, expands in every direction, and pervades billions of galaxies. That which pervades billions of galaxies, literally it is Braham. In that case, no human body, human person ever born could have created those billions of galaxies. So in other words, trying to assign the word, the divine Lord or the Creator, and putting a tag or a name is something which is impossible. It existed before us, it will exist after us, and nobody has seen or have been able to fathom it. So literally, Braham means that small little thing that is within us is also expanding in every direction. And that is Brahmanda, universes and millions of universes. Nobody knows how many. These philosophers and devotees do not focus on the form and shape of the divine. Most of the philosophy is around how to understand and feel and experience that reality so that we can align with it or serve the purpose of our own existing in a meaningful kind of way. So we can think over some of the verses from various Upanishads. For example, there is Isha Upanishad, and it explains, it describes the divine. Again, it is not using a name, and it is not even using the gender word, he, she, not even that. Many, one, not even that. So let us see. The very first verse from Isha Upanishad is Isha Vasyam Idam Sarvam, which means that all pervasive Lord is everywhere. Idam, here, it. That Lord is it, and it's everywhere. Yatakincha Jagtayan Jagat, which means a small part or energy pervades this world among all the other worlds. In other words, that spark is enlightening or energizing not just this world, our world, but the world around us, many worlds in Jagatyam, many, many words. So it is clear that the verse does not use the plural, which means there are not many divine. Isha is one. The word it is used for the divine, and that's only one. Similarly, another verse from the same Upanishad says, Tad jati tanna ejati, tad dure tad antik, tad antarasya sarvasya, tad sarvasya vahetaha. It means that moves, that does not move. That is far away, that is inside us. That resides in the heart of all. And that is outside us all. Now, again, you may notice the word that is not a plural noun. The divine is only one. Here, the pronoun is that. In the first verse, the pronoun was it. So, no male, no female, no gender, no nothing. And not many either. So, there are some ways that we describe when we are offering the prayers, and we say, He's glorious, shining, Tejam. We say Balam, it is strong, it is powerful. Priyam, it is attractive, pleasing to the eyes. Anandam, it is blissful, gives us happiness, comfort, the thought of it, the experience of it. Satyam, it is truth itself. Shivam, it is auspicious. Sundaram, it is beautiful. And Mangalam, it is auspicious. These are just the descriptions. I mean, we may add timeless, Anantam, or we can add any other word which is associated. So there can be hundreds and hundreds of words. There are so many languages. These are the words which we picked up from Sanskrit, because Sanskrit is the ancient literature, both oral and remembered, scriptural, and that is in Sanskrit. So that is why we are using the Sanskrit words, but you may use any other word from any other language, something similar that you experience. Now, when we describe Brahma, we actually are only describing a tiny aspect of it. Many scholars therefore said that what you are describing is not correct. And they keep on ignoring or dismissing, not this, not this. And the Sanskrit word is nasti, nasti. It doesn't exist, not that way. These scholars rejected all symbolism because they feel that any attempt at depiction is bound to be inadequate, incomplete. Despite this, we try to imagine and we try to describe, and we have been doing it forever. All over the globe. This is one tendency that is, we can say, to the entire humanity, that they can't help but wondering and imagining the divine force. So, knowing fully well that all explanations of the infinite Brahma are valid and inadequate at the same time. Now, can the finite mind comprehend something that is beyond comprehension and reference point? It is infinite. Can it describe it in a limited frame of human speech and languages? Since it cannot be described or comprehended, we try piecemeal. This is true, yes. Priyam is true, yes. And we would like to experience that blissfulness, yes. And that way we can continue. So instead of being definitive, assertive, dogmatic, Hindus believe in total freedom to visualize Brahma or not to care to visualize it at all. So there are people who would simply not talk about the divine creator because it's impossible. A task which is impossible, why bother? But that is a freedom. Either you continue or you don't. It's up to you. But many do visualize. So many Hindus make and accept some kind of symbolic image. Again, we have to remember that the image is only according to our imagination, and it is a symbol of something which is immeasurable, that which cannot be measured. But we use it for focus. When offering devotion, you have to have something in the mind or in front of you to concentrate if you are offering devotional prayers. You cannot focus on nothing. If you pick up the zero symbol, zero, still it is a symbol. And we are focusing on that symbol. So nothing means black, and we cannot focus on the black. So we create all types of pratima, knowing fully well that it is beyond measurement. So Hindus pray to so many energies, but they also realize that there is only one divine reality, as we quoted before from different Upanishads. Hindu chants these verses. They say, Om Tat Sat Parameshwar. That divine, that reality is supreme. Whatever is that reality. And then they say Krishnam. Sometimes they address it by that name. Krishnam Sharanam Gacchami, which means I go, I seek the benevolence of Shri Krishna, and I turn to Shri Krishna. You can put down any name, but it cannot be the name which has its own limitations. The next 3 slides in this lesson will explain various phases through which Hindu Dharma itself went through. So these phases are necessary for us to understand so that we see where the hymns were going in the beginning and where we are today. In the earlier hymns and ceremonies, prayers are offered to elements and illumined bodies in the space that are referred to as devas. Although prayers are offered to devas, but all prayers in the ceremonies or in the sessions, they go only to Brahma. Later texts, which were Upanishads, they contemplated on Brahma and the mysteries of the universe. And these are elaborate philosophical dialogues between the guru, which is a teacher, and the disciples. It's in the dialogue form. But they are talking about realities of the self or Dharma or cosmos or Brahma. The students thus engaged learn the path of spirituality and ways to connect with Brahma and the society in a harmonious ways. That is the whole purpose, is to realize the potential within us, to seek a connection with the divine, and to realize the oneness of humanity, which is all woven together. It is diverse, but it is one. as a species, human beings are humans, among many other species. So harmony will bring peace not only within us, but in the outside world, because we understand that that we are part of a very cohesive and orderly system. Now, during this phase, Brahma is without form and without a name, and without even any type of attributes or characteristics. It is just pure energy, it's all pervasive, it is intelligent, and you can say those kind of things. But we call it without form, nirakar, nirgun, without characteristics. No specific name and no specific form. This was the first phase in which there was visual and imagery in the verses of Rig Veda directed to different energies in the universe, which benefit us. And that is the first phase of oral tradition. In phase 2, Sagun Sakar Brahma, that is, we are going to discuss in the next in greater detail, but just a brief preview is this, that in the second phase, Brahma is given attributes as the creator and the regulating force. And we also have different names now, different functions, and people started making, according to their own experiential perceptions, they made paintings, etchings, or creating sculpted figurines, or just made etchings on the wall, frescoes, and those kind of things. These are various artists creating this. No one directed them to do it this way. No one asked them that this is not the right angle or the wrong angle, and this is the imperfection or the lack of it. In other words, these are independent experiences expressed in the art form. To these forms, Hindus offer reverence and devotion. Many Hindus at the same time don't accept these symbols as adequate. They may move away from having symbols altogether because they believe that if the divine is within me and the divine is in the symbol also, then the divine in me is offering the prayer to the divine in the picture. This is a way of looking at things. But many others, they need symbols for focus in front of them. It's like remembering the picture of your parents, keeping it on the nightstand. You don't want to smash it. You want to keep it as a memory, as an inspiration, or as a memory of the love, the sacrifices of the parents. There are all kind of things. You see, parental love, you can have the pictures of the siblings, your relatives. These are all memories. We are trying to capture the memory of something that existed. Now, these are pictures to our knowledge, and they are like candid camera. But in the case of Brahma or the divine creator, we are limited because nobody has ever seen that energy source. Having said that, we will go to phase 2 in the next lesson and just understand where they advanced in the next phase. We have already mentioned that they started having some kind of symbols and forms and functions. But how far did they go? And in the last 3 millennia, how did this temple structure started? And how did this, within the temple, the vigrahas, which we think the symbols have the divine presence, started? So all of this will be the subject of the next lesson. Thank you very much. I take leave of you, and next time we will study the history of Hindu Dharma. Thank you again, and namaste.